7:15. Gonna head down Fuller Ridge. Had two ladies at camp last night, Dash and Buttshot. They just headed out. It's one of the few nights on this mountain there was no wind. Well, there was wind at night, but it's really quiet right now. It was really nice to pack up without cold and blowing everywhere. San Gorgonio. It's Folly Peak, Marion Mountain, kind of behind that tree. You can probably camp there. A little uneven, but better than some of the ones I slept at. Yeehaw! Coming into Fuller Camp. It looks big. I don't see nobody here. They're all left by now. I couldn't make it here last night. I'm glad I stopped where I did. That was a bit of an effort getting here. Really nice camp. Got picnic tables. Big old spot. Couple picnic tables here. Got your confidence markers with reflective tape in case you're coming here at night. Yesterday at the, I think it's the San Jacinto Creek, I met a lady trail named Comfort, and she had come from Humber Park that day and was asking me, oh, did you see anybody on the trail? And I guess apparently she was saying that she's kind of in between bubbles. There's another bubble south of her. So I guess I was in a couple bubbles that passed me on by. I noticed this one guy named Daryl. He posted a comment at the 15 miles ahead at the water faucet at the bottom of this Forester Ridge. He posted that a couple days ago. And I don't know if I'm going to get there today. It's 15 miles, but it says 8,000 feet of descent, so that sounds pretty crazy. But Guthooks has a weird way of calculating that. You know, it looks at every micro ascent, descent, which don't necessarily count to how fatigued you feel. So we'll see. I know there's a certain area I'm not supposed to camp, so I'm supposed to get past that. But yeah, there's a couple bubbles, and like I said, a couple of bubbles past me, and there was a guy, Butters, that's his trail name, not a real name. He kind of said the same thing to me going to Mike's place. I met up with him again. I met him in Laguna, and then also on the way to Mike's place, he was saying, "Oh, I was asking him about the bubble he was in." He said, "Well, he didn't really understand what I meant." He said, "Oh, there's been several bubbles that passed me by." And then I met him in Idlewild. He went there a couple times, like from Paradise Valley. He went to Idlewild, and then he was there after Saddle Junction again. He said he feels like he's getting tired of going to towns. You start to feel like everyone knows your name there. It's time to move on. Some sort of parasite on that tree. Kind of like mistletoe. It's a group of 4, and then there was a group of 2 before that. Little micro bubble coming through. Pretty amazing with the being above those clouds. It was kind of like that yesterday, and then they cleared up. And also, that lady named Comfort, I think it was her. She was talking, I asked her about the weather. No, it wasn't her. It was the 2 ladies shared that camp with last night. They were talking, they said the weather is pretty good for the next couple days, so that's good. When you see those clouds, you're thinking, oh no, does that mean something? But I guess when we get down to the desert, it's going to be good because there'll be a little cloud cover. Won't be so warm. I like this mixture of trees. There's like some cedars and pines. Cedars are a little lower in elevation, I think. I don't remember seeing them up higher. Then it started coming down Fuller Ridge, starting to see the cedars. Some sort of cliff bird around here. They come zooming down this little chute here, like a guy on wingsuit, but better. Either swallows or swifts. I don't know enough to identify them, especially from far away. But those are 2 birds that like that kind of behavior. It's been really pretty much impossible to capture any birds on film. As soon as you get out your camera, they fly away. And you need I think you need a special lens to really, otherwise it's just a little dot in the video. Unless you're really lucky. You can see a wind farm down there. I think that's on the way to Palm Springs. Well, there's San Jacinto Peak. And then a little down to the left is Miller Peak along that ridge. And that tree has a nice shape to it. Kind of a teardrop. Nice cedar. We're getting into Manzanita territory too, so getting lower, got maybe some oaks, like scrub oak type. I think that's what this is. Yeah, it's pretty big for a scrub oak. Look at that. Cedar, pine, manzanita. I'm not sure, but I think I'm starting to see some burn trees too. Yeah, I'm seeing like some burned stuff here. Not a lot. Well, it's hard for me to know how recent that was. I think this is called One Horse Ridge. And according to Gut Hooks, I have 11 miles till I get down to that creek, Snow Creek. Pretty famous creek of San Jacinto. People in the wintertime ascend that, but I think you need it's pretty technical in some places. And that's San Jacinto Peak. Getting a clearer view of the valley down there. Starting to see some burned trees here. Just past one, it's kind of right above the trail. Don't want to be standing there for too long. Chances of it falling you are not too likely, but the chances increase the longer you stand under it. Yeah, these are all still standing, but they're burnt. But I saw some down this gully here. Yeah, like see there, down there. Like on that, resting on that rock that got blown over. It's weird the underlying brush didn't get burned. But I assume this is from the recent fire. I'll have to check. I think this is late stage of a Ceanothus bloom. These ones are particularly spiny. Saw it coming up near Apache, or after Apache. Had some of that spiny Ceanothus, but none of it is in bloom. Those little brown things, that's where the bloom is. I think that's even after this purple part. So there's various stages of this season's blooms. And here's one that's a late bloomer. This would be quite pretty if you came at the right time. Not saying it's not pretty now, but you get a whole hillside of this stuff. It's real fragrant and nice lavender color. That'd be pretty nice. I see this little oaks here saw some with some galls on it. Those galls, I think they're also called oak apple. But it's not an apple. Here's some of the burned trees. It's hard for me to figure out a date on these. There's those fallen ones I was showing up above on that ridge. Drainage here. There's two people I just saw going down over there. And see some power lines going over that little saddle. It's an interesting geography there, like a little slope. Wow, I've never seen so much Yerba Santa in bloom like this. It's like a whole hillside of it. It's going way out there. Look at these rocky crossings. And they got a little pile of boulders supporting the trail.